Hello everybody and welcome back to the strawberry fields. I do have some sad news as Jasmine has unfortunately passed away from old age. But there was a golden warmth over the Nakamura-Kim apartment. Tokie, who was still in her PJs, was pouring cereal for Ryou, who was already busy stacking blueberries into a suspiciously architectural tower. Kaida babbled happily from her bouncer in the corner, and Sung-Ki kissed Tokie's forehead and chuckled before slipping on his coat and heading out for a much-needed coffee break. At the library cafe, Sung-Ki met up with his old friends, Ku and Akihito, who were already deep in a dramatic argument about whether a scone counts as breakfast or dessert. They took their usual corner table, books in hand, but mostly ignoring in flavor for laughter, warm tea, and teasing each other about their backaches and forgotten reading glasses. Ku tried to flirt with the barista, who gave him a loyalty punch card and a pity smile. Akihito accidentally spilled oat milk on the poetry collection, and Sung-Ki just shook his head, grateful for a morning like this. Simple, ridiculous, and perfect. And with that, Sung-Ki headed back home to take care of his two baby girls. That next morning, the sun had barely reached the skyline as baby Kaida's cries echoed through the apartment. Tokie groaned softly from under the covers, but Sung-Ki was already on it, shuffling getting his slippers on. With a proud little grin and far too much enthusiasm for 6 a.m., he scooped Kaida up and helped her age into a squishy, wiggly infant with the biggest eyes and tiniest toes. The rest of the morning was a whirlwind of frosting, balloons, and cleaning up whatever Kaida spit up on. Today was Ryu's birthday, and the household buzzed with the excitement. Tokie wrapped presents while Sung-Ki double-checked the guest list. The guests ended up rolling in like a cozy parade. Ryou brought muffins that Akihito swore he helped with. Soda, Ruben, and Mitsu brought some cute shirts for Ryou. Wolfgang tried to teach Klaus some magic tricks, and Kaori helped Tokie decorate while keeping Kaida distracted with finger puppets. The apartment was full of music and cake, and someone accidentally popping a balloon and scaring Wolfgang half to death. Ryou raced around in a blur of sugar and party excitement, finally stopping at the cake to make a wish. With everyone gathered around, she blew out the candles and aged up into a bright-eyed, sweet-natured child, with Tokie's thoughtful face and Sung-Ki's dramatic flair. As the party wound down and the last hugs were given, the apartment returned to its gentle hum. Ryou, now officially a big kid, helped her mom gather wrapping paper bits while Sung-Ki rocked Kaida and chatted with Akihito about toddler bedtime strategies that never actually worked. The evening ended in pajamas and movie night, Ryou dozing off on her dad's shoulder, Kaida making sleepy gurgles, and Tokie writing all the little details of the day in her journal. The morning sunlight poured through the windows like honey, casting a warm glow over the household. Ryou, with her hair half brushed and her sweater on backwards, sat determined at the kitchen table, tongue poking out slightly as she tackled her math homework. Sung-Ki gently corrected her from across the table, and Tokie packed Ryu's lunch. After the school bus swept Ryou off on her daily adventure, the house fell into a peaceful quiet. Sung-Ki looked at Tokie, grinned, and declared they had to celebrate Love Day. And they went out to the restaurant downtown. They shared fruit tarts, and people watched from the window. Tokie laughed until her coffee nearly came out her nose as Sung-Ki tried to recite a dramatic love poem he wrote in high school. He tried rhyming eternity and spaghetti. Yeah, they were clearly destined for each other. With a kiss goodbye, Tokie headed off to work, still smiling. And Sung-Ki called up Akihito, because the two had to get ready for the upcoming wedding. The city bustled around Sung-Ki and Akihito as they dashed from store to store with growing bags and dwindling patience. Sung-Ki was determined to find the perfect flower boutonniere, while Akihito was just trying to find a snack. Do you think faux peonies say timeless romance or dollar bin disaster? Sung-Ki asked dramatically, holding up slightly crushed silk bloom. Akihito just shrugged with a mouthful of pretzels. They ended their shopping spree at a tiny boutique bakery, picking out emergency backup cupcakes. Sitting by the window with coffee and frosting in their nose, they both laughed at how far they came from chaotic college roommates to chaos managers of, well, Sung-Ki's wedding. And overall, it was a perfect way to kind of realize that the wedding would be a little messy, but that was all they really needed. It was finally the day they have been waiting for basically their entire lives. It was going to be sweet and romantic and just perfect. It seemed even the pigeons coo romantically in the background. They were all ready. The city buzzed as they got ready for their wedding. Tokie was doing last minute preparations and getting things all set up before heading over to the city park. Friends and family began to gather for what promised to be the most heart-melting sweet wedding of the year. Sung-Ki stood at the arch in a soft cream suit, fidgeting with his sleeves until Akihito whispered, "If you wrinkle that, Tokie will destroy you." Sung-Ki immediately stood still like a statue, a blushing, anxious statue. Tokie was getting ready in the back, and Kaida and Ryou were fixing her up, and the ceremony was sweet and filled with giggles, especially Ryou, the flower girl, who decided to freestyle toss petals and glitter. Soon enough, the reception kicked off with Wolfgang getting way too competitive during the bouquet toss. He did not catch it. And Akihito attempted a heartfelt speech that delved into chaotic dad jokes. The cake was perfect, the dancing was soft and silly, and even stoic Klaus was seen swaying awkwardly near the snack table with Ryou. And Ryou actually led a conga line. Akihito passed out handmade wedding favors and little origami hearts that somehow matched the color scheme exactly. As the night ended, Tokie and Sung-Ki shared a quiet moment under the fairy lights, arms around each other, watching their family laugh and dance. And just like that, they were finally a family. The wedding was over, but their story was just beginning. Alrighty y'all, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Sung-Ki and Tokie are finally married, and it was super sweet. I was gonna do a montage, but then I decided, screw it, we're just gonna do the speed through. Anyways, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Stay safe and stay cozy. Bye!